Hello, TCNJ, and welcome to this edition of LTV News. I'm Kate Cartanudo.
And I'm Courtney Wirtz. Here's your first story. President Obama nominated former prosecutor Mary Jo White to be the new head of the Securities and Exchange Commission. There are some concerns that White won't crack down on companies as much as she should due to her close ties with the private sector prior to being nominated for this position.
The TCNJ men's and women's track and field teams have been making strides in the 2013 season. The women's team earned their title as the top 3 team in the NYU Challenge with 63 points. The men's team placed 6th in the meet with 46 points. The head coach, Phil Jennings, was very happy with the performance of the freshmen and looks forward to the rest of the season, reports The Signal. So continue to watch as the team as they play Rider University on February 2nd.
Last week, Catfish star Nev Schulman was on TCNJ's campus, and LTV's own Andrew Edelbaum had the opportunity to interview him.
Hi, my name's Andrew Edelbaum. I'm here for Lions Television, and tonight I'm here with Nev Schulman, who is the host and executive producer of the movie and now MTV phenomenon Catfish. Now, Mr. Schulman, can I call you Nev?
Yes, please.
Nev? Okay, all right, I'll call you Nev. Just want to ask you, so the movie itself, it got an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is a pretty good score. You got $3 million in the box office. What do you think is the fascination with Catfish?
Well, I think there was the initial buzz surrounding the film, which had a lot to do with the success at Sundance. We went into the festival sort of as no-name filmmakers, but we were lucky that we had some big producers behind the film, Andrew Jarecki and Mark Smerling, and they were behind the film Capturing Freedmans, which is another great documentary that you should all watch. So I think that helped sort of get some initial momentum going, and then basically, and this was sort of such a thrill for us, the audience experience for watching the film. Not only did it spawn a tremendous amount of conversation and discussion, but there was this strange pact that people had where they wouldn't tell what happened. The audience wanted to keep the secret, or rather not spoil the surprise for future viewers, and that really spurred a huge amount of curiosity. Well, what is this then? What is this thing everyone's talking about?
Right, there is that big twist at the end, not to be disclosed.
At this point, I think we can talk about it.
Right. What do you think? Obviously, people related a lot to the film. They're relating a lot to the MTV series. What do you think is the reason for that?
Well, I think on the show and in the film, it's the human element. It's the basic storytelling of our lives. In my case, it was sort of the excitement of falling in love, the pursuit of some kind of fantasy, and then, of course, with Angela, it was her very real experience as a mom and wife, and sort of a frustrated artist and a somewhat bored housewife. And so people obviously saw maybe parts of themselves in one or both of us. And on the show, what we really go to great lengths to do is try to tell the story of these two people as honestly and fairly and objectively as possible.
Absolutely.
And everybody has insecurities and fears and issues that they maybe don't want to deal with or don't know how to deal with. And I think when watching the show, you see these people and you see what they're dealing with, and you see that in talking about it and dealing with it, generally there's a positive result.
Right, absolutely. I'll admit, I actually just started watching the show last week. Love it, by the way. And when you're going up to the door to see these people for the first time, my heart is literally pounding as it's happening with all that anticipation. How do you feel being the catalyst of that kind of a reaction?
Well, so it's I'm nervous sort of on two fronts. I'm nervous because I don't know who's going to open the door, and I hope I've done my job or effectively enough to predict to some extent what to expect. And then, of course, I'm nervous for the person who I'm with, because a huge emotional weight sort of rests on the on this the opening of this door. So yeah, it's nerve-wracking, and I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen, and I just sort of have to keep reminding myself, whatever comes through that door, just remember that you're here to support and facilitate the best possible outcome you can. And I guess for whatever reason, whatever strange sequence of events I've lived through in my life, I have a knack for handling awkward social environments, and it generally works out okay.
Those awkward situations can be tough. I've been there.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you for your opinion on this. Obviously, with all this online romance that's going on, we're in a new age right now. What are your predictions for how online dating will progress in the future?
Well, I'm not sure, but a prediction is obviously just that. It's no question that online dating will continue to grow. Technology is growing, we're all using it more and more, and I think it's a great thing that we can now meet people who we otherwise wouldn't meet, and you can really cast your net a lot wider, and most likely meet someone that you have similarities with and who's looking for the same things and all of that sort of relationship stuff. I don't think that it will result in a necessarily more successful relationship pairing rate, because the reality is once you meet someone and you're in a relationship, there are an infinite number of reasons why it won't work out, and that's just the hardship of love.
Absolutely.
Just because you can meet more people doesn't mean you're going to necessarily get along with more people. You might just get along with more, you might just not get along with more people.
Right, absolutely.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm also curious to see if there's going to be sort of a backlash or a sort of turnaround away from internet connection, from online dating, which to some extent I guess I would also be okay with, because I think the more time we spend looking at each other in the face, talking, in real life, the better.
Absolutely.
So we'll see.
All right. Well, it looks like we have time for one more question. I'm going to quote you directly now. You said in the movie, and I thank God for the catfish because we would be droll, boring and droll if we didn't have somebody nipping at our fin. So obviously that's a more positive spin on the idea of a catfish as a whole. Just what are some remarks on that? Why do you think that catfish make a positive difference as opposed to a negative one?
Well, just to be clear, you're quoting Vince.
Oh, I'm quoting Vince.
In that.
Okay.
But that is a direct quote, but it wasn't what I said. I think, and this is maybe because I hope that I could be viewed this way myself, that you could call us troublemakers, different, but people who operate outside of the lines to some extent, who do things that are not necessarily the norm, are the people who make a difference in many cases. Not to say that you can't make a wonderful difference doing things by the book, but I think the catfish, people who do things that maybe at times are a little unacceptable, maybe at times a little risky, those are the things that mix things up and oftentimes lead to change and innovation, and in my case, a hugely important learning experience. So I do think catfish can be very positive if the people who are affected by it are able to turn it into a positive experience.
Adding to the spice of life. I like that.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, I'm Andrew Edelblum, and this has been Nev Schulman. We're here for Lions Television. Thanks.
There have been 2 new additions to the faculty at TCNJ over winter break. The first is new Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Jacqueline Taylor. She was originally stationed at DePaul University, where her career included being the founding dean of the College of Communication. The second addition to the TCNJ faculty is Jeffrey Passe as the Dean of Education. Passe will take over for the interim dean, Mark Kisalika. Passe was previously the chair of Townsend University's Department of Secondary Education.
Last week, you may have noticed part of ICOF being taped off and tarps hanging from the ceiling. The damage was caused by a frozen sprinkler line, which led to flooding on the second and third floors of Eichhoff and ceiling damage to the main floor. Some students had to be relocated from their dorms due to the flooding. They will be able to return in 2 to 3 weeks.
The Signal reports that the Travers Wolf Fitness Center is moving to the Rec Center. The TW Fitness Center used to be located in the link between the towers, although this was very inconvenient for many upperclassmen, as they were unable to gain access to the towers with their ID cards. The fitness center offers free classes such as yoga, Zumba, kickboxing, and aerobics. All equipment needed for classes are available to use in the fitness center. Classes begin on January 28th, and they run for the entirety of the semester. This is definitely something worth checking out.
The college's Office of Communications was sad to report that a visitor to campus went into cardiac arrest and was found unresponsive in Centennial Hall Saturday morning. TCNJ police responded to the scene along with Lyons EMS and attempted to revive the individual before he was transported to Capitol Health, where he was pronounced dead shortly before 9 a.m. Campus police have been and continue to be conducting an investigation of the incident, although no foul play is suspected and there does not appear to be any ongoing threat to the college community.
And that does it for this edition of LTV News. If you are interested in joining LTV, you can check us out on Facebook at LTV@TCNJ or email us at ltv@tcnj.edu. For all of us here at LTV with Courtney Worths, I'm Kate Caratanudo. Be sure to stay tuned for our entertainment news segment.
Hello TCNJ, my name is John Anthony Alimo.
And I'm Olivia Michael.
And here is your entertainment news. In movie news, the director for the upcoming Disney-produced Star Wars film has been announced. J.J. Abrams, known for producing the hit television series Lost, as well as other popular genre films such as Cloverfield and Star Trek, will be sitting at the director's chair for the latest Star Wars installment. George Lucas, creator of the franchise, has stated that the legacy could not be in better hands. Signaling he approves highly of the choice, Abrams originally declined interest in directing the film, but was recently persuaded to join the project. The 7th Star Wars film has a projected release date in 2015.
It's a sad time for Bethany Frankel fans as the reality star and skinny girl mogul and her husband of 2 years, Jason Hoppy, father to daughter Bryn, have announced their divorce, citing the ever-so-popular irreconcilable differences. The feud has gotten even more heated as both parties refuse to budge over who has primary custody over daughter Bryn. A source revealed Jason will absolutely not allow Bethany to make him a part-time dad on her terms. Jason will fight tooth and nail to have an active and meaningful presence in Bryn's life.
In sort of sports news, Notre Dame football player Manti Te'o's drama saga continues. The college football star has been embroiled in an online dating hoax which recently erupted into a media frenzy. The star claimed to be dating a woman named Lane Kekua for the past 2 years, which ended when she died of leukemia. Turns out, though, Lane never existed in the first place. People are puzzled how this young man could be in a relationship for that long a period without ever actually meeting Kekua. Katie Couric straight up asked Manti if he was gay, only for Manti to respond with a resounding no. Details are still emerging how exactly this all occurred, and we hope to keep you posted with further updates.
One of the newest, not-so-shocking Kardashian scandals has made headlines. Mother of Kim Kardashian and the other 2 girls, Kris Kardashian, has been under heat after recorded news of her abuse towards the young girls was revealed by one of the deceased Robert Kardashian's journals. The journal was leaked by Robert's widow. According to Perez Hilton, it says Kris would lock herself in her bedroom for days at a time to sleep off all the partying she would do when Kourtney, Kim, and Khloe were younger. And in an entry dated September 1989, the girls were remembered as crying their eyes out numerous times after Kris would forget to pick them up from school. Apparently, she was traveling around with then lover Todd Waterman. According to a source, Kourtney has been the angriest with her, especially now that she has her own kids. She has had a hard time understanding the choices her mother made and definitely holds a lot of resentment. The girls definitely don't have any respect for their mother. That's why they call her Kris most of the time.
Beyonce, while wowing at the inauguration, reportedly lip-synced at the event, according to some reports. The military band that accompanied Beyonce in her performance released a statement saying that Beyonce had decided to lip-sync rather than perform live shortly before taking the stage. A spokesperson later retracted the statement. Others have concluded that Beyonce lip-synced too well to have lip-synced at all. The singer has yet to produce a comment concerning the so-called controversy. In other news, Michelle Williams may finally have a reason to get off the couch. Beyonce and the rest of the Destiny Child members will be taking the stage at the Super Bowl halftime show this coming Sunday. This comes a year after Madonna performed, much to the delight of gay football fans everywhere, wherever they may be. The show will surely be a delight, and I look forward to watching it.
Is Natalie Portman quitting Hollywood for good? Nat's husband, Benjamin Millepied, has been appointed to direct the Paris Opera Ballet, which means in order to keep the family together, Portman and baby son Aleph will have to pack their bags and move to the City of Love. Whether Hollywood will have their Black Swan back anytime soon is unsure, but we'll sure miss her during the meantime.
And that does it for this edition of LTV Entertainment News. If you are interested in joining LTV, you can check us out on Facebook at LTV@TCNJ or email us at ltv@tcnj.edu. For all of us here at LTV with Olivia Michael, I'm John Anthony Alimo. Stay tuned for our musical guest, Ryan Quindlen.
Hi, I'm Ryan Quindlen, and I'm a freshman at TCNJ, and this is an original song called Up to You. This is the 5th or 6th time now, baby, that you've said goodbye. Or was it this time now, baby? I was feeling we were fine. I know this happens sometimes, girl. We all change our minds. But it's alright now, baby. If you want me to wait, I'll step in line, 'cause I love every single one of your moods. They swing and I swing too, girl. You say you don't want me to, but I love you and that's not up to you. I said that's not up to you. Call my name and I'll come running, girl. You know I'm your man. I'll do everything you want me to, but you don't love me, I don't know what to do. I know that deep down somewhere you know that I'm right. No? Well, I'll be as wrong as you want, as long as it's you to keep me warm at night. I love every single one of your moods. They swing and I swing too, girl. You say you don't want me to, but I love you and that's not up to you. Beat me, break my heart. Just don't ever let us be apart. You hate when I speak, but that's alright. Baby, for you I can be the silent type. I love every single one of your moods. They swing and I swing too, girl. You say you don't want me to, but I love you and that's not up to you. I love every single one of my bruises. You swing and when I come to, I'm still just as in love with you, and that's still not up to you. Thank you. This is another original song. This is one of the first I ever wrote, and this is called I Don't Know Love. I know about a lot of things, but baby, I don't know love. I don't care about a lot of things like what you're thinking of. And I don't like candlelight movies or expensive meals. And I suck at plenty of things like writing songs about the way I feel. I don't care much for the weather. leather and I don't notice new shoes. That eliminates half of our conversation topics right there, so I guess we're dating screwed. It's not that I'm not into you, I just don't care about what you do for a living. Is that so bad? Probably. I don't wanna be in love forever, or even at all. You're the one until I find someone better. But baby, if you fall, I'll never let you go, as long as you weigh less than 140 or so. So please, please, please be my flower, at least for an hour. Hey, listen, babe, we gotta talk. It's been fun, but there's no time left on the clock. It's not you, it's me, I really just gotta focus on my career right now. Maybe someday you'll see. I hate this, but all good things must end. But hey, at least we can still be friends or whatever. But I don't wanna be in love forever, or even at all. You're the one until I find someone better. But baby, if you fall, I'll never let you go, as long as you weigh less than 130 or so. So please, please, please be my flower, at least for an hour, at least for an hour, at least for an hour. And I'm going to be finishing up with a cover. This is Blackbird by the Beatles. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the night of the dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the night, the dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. Thank you. Again, I'm Ryan Quindlen. I'm a freshman at TCNJ, and thank you for watching LTV.